Hey Lakers fans, what's up? We're back with another deep dive into some of the most interesting moves floating around the league right now. And this one could shake things up for the purple and gold if the front office plays it right. So, let's talk about the situation brewing with Benedict Mathurin and the Indiana Pacers because this one could get spicy real soon. Now, the Pacers are in a tricky spot. According to recent reports, they're not expected to sign Mathurin to an extension before the deadline. That alone says a lot about where Indiana's head is at right now. They've got this cloud of uncertainty hanging over them with Tyrese Halliburton's health and how the rest of the roster is shaping up, especially after losing some key pieces. The team clearly wants to keep its financial flexibility until it figures out if this group can truly compete, but waiting too long could come back to haunt them. Benedict Mathurin is one of those players you just know could blow up in the right environment. He's young, explosive, and plays with that fearless edge every team wants during the playoffs. He's not afraid of the big moment, and that's something the Lakers have always valued in their players. Indiana, though, seems hesitant to commit long-term, probably because they're still figuring out what kind of team they want to be. It's like they're half in, half out on this rebuild. And that's dangerous, because when you hesitate in this league, someone else moves in and takes what you hesitated to protect. Remember what happened with Miles Turner? The Pacers weren't ready to fully commit, and before they knew it, Turner was gone. He ended up in Milwaukee, where he's got a shot to compete for something real. Turner even said he didn't feel like Indiana really wanted him. And honestly, can you blame him? When a team wants you, they show it. They put the money on the table and say, "You're our guy." But when they start playing the waiting game, players notice. That's what might happen again here with Mathurin. The only difference this time is that Mathurin is a restricted free agent, which means Indiana still has some control. If another team wants him, they have to make a big offer, and Indiana would have the chance to match it. Now, this is where things get interesting for the Lakers. There's a real possibility that a team like Los Angeles, with some projected cap space and a hunger to stay young while still contending, could make a move. Imagine the Lakers offering Mathurin something in that $25 to $30 million per year range. That's around what guys like Jonathan Kuminga or Josh Giddey could command on their next deals, and Mathurin's right there in that same tier. He's 23 years old, won't turn 24 until June, right when the Lakers hope to be playing in the NBA Finals. The timeline lines up perfectly. The issue, though, is how the league's new financial rules complicate restricted free agency. When you throw a big offer sheet at a player like Mathurin, that money gets tied up until the original team decides what to do. So if the Lakers made a move too early, they could risk missing out on other targets while waiting for Indiana's response. That's why a sign-and-trade might be the smarter route. It gives both sides flexibility, and it prevents the Lakers from getting stuck with their hands tied. And here's where it gets juicy. If the Lakers seriously went after Mathurin, that could open up a whole new conversation about the future of Austin Reaves. Reaves is already due for a big payday himself, and if the Lakers invest heavily in Mathurin, it might not make sense to keep both. Reaves has been great during the regular season, but we've seen some playoff struggles from him in the past. If that trend continues, the front office could start thinking about a trade. You bring in Mathurin, a younger and more athletic scorer who can grow alongside the core, and suddenly the roster looks different. Faster, more dynamic, more unpredictable. Think about it. Mathurin averaged 16 points a game last season on solid efficiency. He's not a one-dimensional scorer. He can attack the rim, hit from mid-range, and even though his three-point shot dipped a bit last season, he's shown he can shoot better when given consistent spacing. Playing next to a creator like LeBron James, or even Luka Doncic in another scenario. That's the kind of environment that makes players like Mathurin thrive. He's got that sixth-man energy, but with starter potential written all over him. On defense, he's still learning. There are moments where he checks out or takes a possession off, and that's what separates good players from great ones. But when he's locked in, you can see the potential for him to be a two-way threat. He's 6'6", long, athletic, and strong enough to guard multiple positions. You give Darvin Ham, or whoever's coaching him the right system, and you could really mold him into that modern wing every team craves. Now, let's not forget what he's already shown on the big stage. During the playoffs, even though his minutes were limited, Mathurin had flashes of brilliance. There were games where he just came in and lit it up. He wasn't afraid to take shots or attack defenders, even when he was going up against elite competition. That tells you a lot about his mentality. He's not the kind of guy to shy away from the moment. He wants it. From a roster-building perspective, this kind of move could open up so many paths for the Lakers. Imagine a lineup with Luka Doncic, if that long-rumored connection ever came true, or even sticking with the current core of LeBron, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura. You could slide Mathurin in as that secondary scorer or the first option off the bench, depending on how things evolve. The flexibility he gives you is huge. He can play on the ball or off it. He's comfortable cutting, spotting up, or creating his own shot when the offense stalls. And if the Lakers are serious about retooling around a younger core, once LeBron eventually moves on, Mathurin fits perfectly into that timeline. By the time he hits his prime, the team could have a whole new identity built around him, Davis, and whoever they bring in next. He's not a finished product yet, but that's exactly what makes him valuable. You're not just paying for what he is right now. You're investing in what he's going to become. What makes this entire situation so fascinating is how it reflects the balance every franchise has to strike between patience and aggression. Indiana wants to be cautious. They don't want to overspend on a player before they know what the ceiling of their roster really is. But in this league, waiting can cost you everything. The Lakers, on the other hand, have always thrived on bold moves. They've never been afraid to take chances on talent that might be undervalued elsewhere. If they see an opening, they take it. So, if Mathurin and the Pacers can't come to an agreement, Los Angeles could absolutely step in. Maybe it's a sign-and trade. Maybe it's a move next summer. Maybe it's something unexpected at the deadline if Indiana starts sliding in the standings. But one thing's for sure. The Lakers are always keeping an eye out for young, hungry players who can handle the bright lights of Los Angeles. Mathurin fits that mold perfectly. A guy with confidence, skill, and a chip on his shoulder, ready to prove he belongs among the league's elite. The question now is whether Indiana realizes what they have before it's too late. Because if they don't, someone else will. And if that someone happens to be the Lakers, it could change everything about their long-term outlook. Mathurin in purple and gold. That's not just a fantasy move. That's a statement about the future. Now, let's dig even deeper into what this could actually look like if the Lakers decided to make a serious run at Bennedict Mathurin, because the pieces line up in a way that's both complicated and fascinating. First off, the Lakers would have to figure out their financial flexibility, especially with Austin Reeves' contract already on the books and Anthony Davis commanding a huge piece of the salary cap. But here's the thing. The Lakers are one of the few franchises willing to move aggressively if they believe it brings them closer to a title or secures their future. They've proven that time and time again. Look at the way they flipped their roster during the last trade deadline and instantly became contenders again. That kind of boldness is in their DNA. If you add Mathurin to the mix, you're not just adding a scorer. You're adding an athlete who can change the tempo of the game, who brings instant offense and a youthful spark. He thrives in transition, something the Lakers desperately need more of. When you watch Los Angeles play, there are times when the offense slows down too much, relying heavily on half-court sets led by LeBron or Davis. Mathurin gives you that burst, that ability to push the pace, attack mismatches, and create chaos for defenses. Imagine LeBron leading the break, Davis running the lane, and Mathurin streaking down the wing ready to explode at the rim or pull up from mid-range. That's the kind of energy that changes games. And beyond his offensive upside, there's the matter of fit. Mathurin isn't a player who needs the ball every possession to make an impact. He's shown he can play off a primary ball handler like Tyrese Halliburton, which means he could easily fit alongside LeBron or even Reeves. The key is getting him to commit consistently on defense, something every young scorer struggles with early in their career. But his physical tools are all there, 6'6", strong frame, quick feet. When he decides to lock in, he can really bother opposing guards and wings. It's all about consistency, and that's something that can be developed with the right coaching and veteran leadership. What makes this scenario so intriguing is how it affects the team's long-term strategy. The Lakers are constantly walking that fine line between competing now and preparing for the future. If they go after Mathurin, it would be a move that satisfies both goals. You get a player who can contribute immediately, but also one who's young enough to be part of whatever comes after LeBron eventually steps away. Think about the transition they went through after Kobe Bryant retired. It took years for the team to find stability again. This time, they don't want that same gap. They want to hand the torch off seamlessly, and adding a talent like Mathurin could help ensure that. Statistically, he's already showing real growth. He played 72 games last season, started nearly 50, and averaged just under 30 minutes a night. 16 points per game on 46% shooting is no joke for someone that young, especially on a team still trying to find its identity. His three-point shooting dropped to 34%, but the previous season he hit nearly 38% from deep, which proves it's there. Sometimes all it takes is a better offensive system and spacing to unlock a player's true potential. Playing next to LeBron James, or even D'Angelo Russell, he'd get far cleaner looks than he ever did in Indiana. The Lakers' offense naturally generates open perimeter shots through drive and kick action, and that could help Mathurin rediscover his touch from outside. You also can't ignore what he's done from the free throw line, over 83% for his career. That's an indicator of pure shooting ability. The mechanics are solid. He's got balance, a quick release, and confidence. The three-point percentage will rise again as he matures and learns how to pick his spots. And his aggressiveness getting to the rim means he's not the kind of player who disappears when the jumper isn't falling. He keeps coming, keeps attacking, and that's something the Lakers bench has lacked at times. Now, the playoffs are where you really measure a player's worth. Mathurin's postseason numbers might not jump off the page, but when you factor in his reduced minutes, he was actually very efficient. In just 17 minutes per game, he still managed to average 11 points and over 3 rebounds. That's impact production for a bench role, and you could see flashes of what he might do with more opportunity. He had a few games where he looked fearless, going straight at elite defenders and finding ways to score. Those moments tell you everything about his potential. The lights don't scare him. He doesn't shrink when the stakes rise. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, whispers are rippling through the NBA landscape as the basketball world reels at the possibility of one of the league's most shocking potential moves. Sources close to the situation suggest that Kawhi Leonard, the silent yet devastatingly effective star of the Los Angeles Clippers, has reportedly accepted a proposal from their crosstown rivals, the Los Angeles Lakers. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the mere suggestion of Leonard swapping the Staples center colors has sent fans, analysts, and rival executives into a frenzy. Leonard, known for his ice-cold demeanor on the court and his selective off-court presence, has often been the subject of trade speculation, but the idea of him joining the Lakers, a team already brimming with superstar talent, adds a new layer of intrigue to an already electric offseason. Sources claim that discussions have been ongoing for weeks, with the Lakers reportedly offering a package that would make even the most hardened front office executives pause. Details remain murky, but insiders hint at a combination of draft assets, young talent, and perhaps even a swap involving a key rotational player from the Lakers' current roster. For Clippers fans, the notion is nothing short of a nightmare. Leonard has been the cornerstone of their franchise for years, delivering both playoff heroics and a quiet confidence that has kept the team competitive despite past injuries and roster turbulence. His potential departure to the Lakers, a team whose championships and media presence loom large in Los Angeles, will mark a seismic shift not only in the city's basketball balance, but also in the power dynamics of the entire Western Conference. Meanwhile, Lakers enthusiasts are cautiously celebrating the possibility. Adding Leonard to a roster featuring other marquee names would instantly elevate them into the category of super team status, creating a lineup that could strike fear into any opponent. Yet, questions abound. Can Leonard's health and playing style mesh with the Lakers' current system? Would the locker room chemistry withstand such a high-profile addition? And most importantly, how would Clippers fans respond to seeing their former hero don purple and gold? As the rumor mill churns, one thing is certain. The NBA landscape could be on the brink of one of its most talked-about shifts in recent memory. Whether this buzz materializes into a concrete deal or remains the tantalizing whisper of the off-season, basketball fans across the globe are watching with bated breath. Los Angeles, it seems, may soon be a city divided not just by highways and neighborhoods, but by the fate of Kawhi Leonard. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.